F1 Manager 22 on the PlayStation 4. This is a game that I purchased from the Maryland Library System during a book sale. We're gonna overwrite that autosave because you already have a manual save we can pick up later. There's gonna be a lot of downtime in this video, so I'm not gonna spend a bunch of time explaining stuff.
Mercedes returned to F1 in 2010,
yeah.
And since 2014 they've won the Constructors' Championships back-to-back.
Now, I am a fan of this setup here. Again, this will be a research stream. I played this game for a couple of hours prior to recording this video, so I was able to at least get a feel for the flow of the gameplay early on. So what I'll do is I'll do a couple of early videos to kind of see what the situation is, so you can get a feel for how the game starts out. We're not going to go too deep in this particular research stream. But we're going to start things off by kind of trying to explain how I think this game seems to be playing out based on the tutorial they laid out for me. Current team performance. We're going to start with a new season, so we can start from the beginning and get to see what the tutorial has to offer. What I do like is how the game explains sort of the history of each team. So we're going to do easy mode, and there's also a harder mode where you have less money to play with and less talent with which to build. Easy mode is apparently Mercedes. Their season objective is to become the #1 team in the world, and their long-term objective is to win the Constructors' Champion trophy, apparently. So I'll press the triangle button so you'll get a chance to get a feel for the history of each of these teams. It's kind of fascinating, because I know nothing about F1 racing. Nothing. I mean, I've played Al Unser Jr. as a kid on the NES, but we'll talk about that later. So I'll introduce you to each of the teams. We're going to choose Mercedes, but I want to at least show you what our options are early on.
The Red Bull team burst onto the F1 scene in 2005. And ever since 2009, they've been one of the top 3 teams in the championship. Last season ended brilliantly for them. Max Verstappen won the prestigious Drivers' Championship, and Red Bull are flying high once more. Heading into 2022 under the right leadership, Red Bull could find themselves heading up the pack once more. They'll certainly be hoping to end the season with not 1 but 2 championship trophies for their cabinet back home in Milton Keynes.
This is nominally an educational channel, so this might be the most educational video you see on this channel for the next several months. Because I'm going from knowing nothing about F1 to say, okay, maybe I can look up on Wikipedia and see what's going on. But that was Red Bull. And Mercedes is the team I'm going to be playing for this video, but let's get things started.
The Red Bull team burst onto the F1 scene.
Hold on. There we go. We're going to want the Mercedes team. The team I was practicing with before I started recording this video.
Mercedes returned to F1 in 2010. And since 2014, they've won the Constructors' Championships back-to-back every year. In 2021, they took home the Constructors' Championship once more, although they narrowly missed out on the Drivers' Championship, coming in second. Heading into 2022, Mercedes will insist on dominating the competition. Nothing less than the fastest car and the most wins will give the Silver Arrows the outcome they want to see at the end of this new season and beyond.
So I guess they're the Ryu of this game. So we'll be choosing them by default. But let's see what the competition has to offer.
Ferrari have entered Formula One every year since the World Championship began back in 1950. They still hold the most championship titles of any team. The team had a solid season in 2021, securing 3rd place in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari are very much in it to win it. With strong leadership over the 2022 season and beyond, expect to see them fighting for those podium places. If all goes well, they'll be aiming for that top spot as the seasons progress.
So those are the Elite 3, the people who are most likely to be on the medal stand. Let's see who their competition is in the bubble teams right here.
McLaren are a cornerstone of F1, having been part of the sport since 1966 and winning numerous drivers and constructors championships over the years. Last season they came a respectable 4th overall, with Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris securing the only 1-2 finish of the season. The talented driver pairing of Ricciardo and Norris returns for McLaren this season, and one thing is certain, they're not going to settle until they're reigning champions once more.
So again, I never heard of this. I never heard of this company. So you get to hear a bit about the history of this particular firm and how they've been doing in the F1 World Championships, which sounds amazing. Again, this is the kind of thing that may make me more interested in F1 racing overall at a macro level. I'm probably not watching F1. But like kind of following the history of the sport and kind of following, the developments in the teams over the years. So I'm kind of sort of curious how this game will help me develop my interest in the sport.
Alpine was a new name in 2021, bringing F1 drivers Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon back into the spotlight. Alpine finished the 2021 season in 5th place in the Constructors' standings, with their first race win secured by Ocon at the Hungarian Grand Prix. 2022 will be a formative season for Alpine as they return with the tried and trusted driver pairing of Alonso and Ocon. In a few years' time, with the right leadership, they could well become championship contenders.
So potential for growth here in this team. Now we're going to the middle of the pack here.
AlphaTauri have been a name in Formula One since 2020. They're renowned for being the proving ground for talented new F1 drivers. Last season they ended in 6th overall. Driver Pierre Gasly also earned them an impressive podium finish in Baku. Heading into 2022, the team continued to develop their current driver pairing of Yuki Tsunoda and Gasly. They'll want to continue scoring regular points and begin working their way past the other midfield contenders.
Midfield. They're throwing the soccer references in there now. So we're starting to go to the bottom of the pack here. But let's see what these guys... This is Alfa Romeo, right?
2021 was
No.
Aston Martin's first full season in Formula One. They roared onto the scene with Sebastian Vettel, the legendary 4-time world champion, in one of those coveted driving seats. Despite some teething problems in testing, Aston Martin gave a solid showing and finished the season in 7th place overall. Heading into 2022 with Lance Stroll and Vettel behind the wheel, Aston Martin have the potential to become regular podium contenders. But it's going to take strong leadership and shrewd investment to get them there.
So they have a lot of money to play with, but they're going to need to invest it in research and development on their cars, apparently. But yeah, these are the Aston Martins. And this crew.
Williams is a legendary name in F1, winning 9 Constructors' Championships in their heyday. The Williams family sold the team in 2020, and the 2021 season saw them fighting well from start to end. They finished 8th overall, thanks to some incredible performances by George Russell in his last year as a Williams driver. In 2022, Williams have Nicholas Latifi and new signing Alex Albon, returning to F1 after a year away to make up their driver team. The pressure is on for them to up their performance this season and push their way back towards those midfield places.
So they're basically a bottom-of-the-barrel team. They're trying to get back to a playoff-type situation for all of you Washington Wizards fans. A playoff-type situation. So now we're at the bottom of the pack.
Alfa Romeo boast an impressive Formula One history, dating right back to 1950 when they won the very first Drivers' World Championship. However, 2021 saw them finish in 9th overall, with no podium finishes to their name. The team usher in 2022 with a brand new driver lineup. They're joined by F1's first ever Chinese race driver, Zhou, as well as veteran Valtteri Bottas, as they build their way back to becoming regular point scorers.
So they're rebuilding, basically, and they hired this new Chinese dude to kind of help them out. They're trying to finish in 5th place, so that's interesting. So, again, like the Washington Commanders here in football in 2024, they were expected to be like a rebuilding team. They're actually a playoff contender, so we'll talk about that later.
Haas joined F1 back in 2016, and they've had a good start to their team career, peaking at 5th place in 2018. Last season, they finished 10th, but they spent a lot of time and focus on designing their car for 2022 and strategizing for the future. Going into the 2022 season, Haas hope to have a strong car design under their belts. Coupled with hungry drivers, an ambitious team, and strong leadership, they'll be pushing their performance and fighting their way back to the midfield.
So this is hard mode. So I guess for people who really want to challenge themselves, they pick the bottom 3 teams to see how they perform.
Alfa Romeo.
Because the idea is to kind of get them up in the rankings, get them to a level where they'll be competitive next year, not this year. So you want to see progress here. Like if you look right here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 9 teams here. Their objective is to be in last place. Well, actually, no. There's more teams than that. Yeah, I think they're about well, I forget how many teams there are, but if their objective is to be 9th place, then I guess their objective is to eventually compete in the next couple of years. But this year, they're probably going to finish in last place. They just want to see if they can build towards the future, I suppose. Yeah, car performance. Yeah, so there are 10 teams. Huh. Intriguing. Wait, who's the 10th? Oh, there are 10. Okay, this is bad counting. So they're expected to finish near the bottom. That's hilarious. Headquarters quality. Hilarious. First entry, 1978. 2021 Drivers' Championship finish 15th. Ugh. Constructors' Championship wins. Okay, that's cool. They've never won. Canopolis. Oh, wait. Oh, Haas is out in, is American, huh? Wait, did I miss one? Yeah, okay. The first All-American team in Formula 1 and 30. Oh, okay.
Haas joined F1 back in 2016, and they've had a good start to their team career, peaking at 5th place in 2018. Last season, they finished 10th, but they spent a lot of time and focus on designing their car for 2022 and strategizing for the future. Going into the 2022 season, Haas hoped to have a strong car design under...
Okay, I get it. So that's cool. So you get to have like you can have a project, a building project, like helping a bad team get better, which I do in Tecmo Super Bowl because I'm confident in my ability to help bad teams become competitive. So that's nice. Yeah, they're out of Switzerland. Alfa Romeo's out in Switzerland, huh? That's cool. And Williams back in the day, they were, well, they don't say when their heyday was. That might be something might be something worth looking up later. Aston Martin. Yeah, not so much in Formula 1, sure. And they didn't join as a full-time team until 2021. That's interesting. AlphaTauri. They raced previously under a different name. Never heard of them. They weren't Alpha Centauri. So I guess they don't have the license to actually use the team's former name. Ha ha ha. Alpine. 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 By the way, this is a game that spells tires with a Y. So I'm immediately side-eyeing them. McLaren. Never heard of them. Ferrari, of course. Straight out of Italy. Brackley. And Mercedes is number 1. I guess I thought, in my mind, Mercedes is a German company. I don't know what's going on. My mind is confused by all of this. So car performance is 3rd. We have the 2 best drivers in the world. Staff performance and headquarters quality. So again, one of us is easy mode. Yeah, we could be, yeah, so it depends on how we want to do this. Okay, so our team quality, so we're the best team in the game. Our objective is to finish 3rd place. Our long-term objective is to become the Constructors' Champion, sure. We have a high budget. So the budget for these first 3 teams is very high. These 2 teams right here are expected to win. But we're only expected to come in 3rd place. So I'm more likely to survive if I only finish in 3rd. This team has a medium balancing budget. A medium budget. This one has a higher starting budget. Medium. Lower objectives. More conservative objectives here. And these bottom 3 teams have very low budget. So if you know what you're doing, you can kind of build them up. Probably have to get some more sponsors. But that's cool. So like I said, Mercedes is the Ryu of this team, so we'll set them up. So what's our team? Forename and surname. Well, it's my name, so we're going to be Team Me. And my surname will be, of course... So, yeah, I am Terry Bogard. I am okay. Yeah, first time guidance enabled, because for this video, none of us know what we're doing. If you're watching this video, it's because you know a lot about F1. You want to see me kind of struggle understanding it. or because you've never heard of F1 before, but for some reason you want to hear me introduce you to F1. You know, because of my sterling personality. Again, I'm a sports nerd, but I know nothing about racing. I know Danica Patrick, Bill Elliott, and that's pretty much it.
I'm Audrey Menser, one of the team's senior engineers. Welcome to the team. The pressure is on here at Mercedes to retake our place at the top of both the constructors and driver standings. We've done it before and we can definitely do it again. As our new team principal, you're responsible for a lot of aspects of the team. You can keep an eye on most things from your dashboard here. First up, an overview of the board. They're the ones who set the expectations for the team. If they're confident in your leadership, you'll be fine. The board sets season objectives for the team to achieve.
Yep.
Reaching them will help keep confidence high. So be sure to familiarize yourself with what's expected. Once the season starts, you can track where we stand among the F1 teams in the Constructors' Championship over here. The same goes for checking our standings in the Drivers' Championship too. In terms of team prestige, it doesn't get much higher than this. Winning the Drivers' Championship is the pinnacle of an F1 driver's career. Speaking of which, let's introduce you to the team drivers. They're under contract with us for this season, and their professional development and race performance will make or break us as a team. Okay then, let's look ahead to the race weekend. We need to start preparing for the next Grand Prix. As it's your first day though, there's nothing urgent for you to address. Feel free to explore more, or you can select continue and sign off for the day.
So she'll come back and talk to us once we're done. I'll just check out the inbox, and then we'll continue to race weekend. Actually, we might do some scouting, which I'll explain a bit later. Welcome to the team, T'Challa. That's your boy. You receive important emails, so whatever. Wow. Inbox 0, am I right? For you remap. Yeah, I bet Rob Zachney's a big fan of this game. F1 nerd.
Pay attention to the events that have been marked. The race weekends have already been added for you. More events will get added as the season progresses.
We'll worry about that later. We'll go to staff eventually.
This is where you'll carry out your final preparations for the next race.
Yeah, nothing yet.
One of my favorite places. This is where the car builds happen, and where we develop and store our car parts.
We'll come back to that.
This is where you'll find relevant information on the team's drivers and reserve driver.
And you can see right here we have 2 really good drivers right here. And we have a reserve driver who we're going to want to develop with some practice runs. We can also scout for new drivers. Worth noting, our number 1 driver here is 37 years old, and he has 1 year left on his contract. So my argument is maybe we should think about replacing him. So we could scout for new drivers. So for example, all of our drivers are at least a rank 85. So we're going to replace someone like that. Maybe we can replace someone who's playing for another team. This guy's 40. You probably don't want a 40-year-old. Gasly's playing for AlphaTauri. So you could probably try to pick up a younger driver. Yeah, this is the Chinese dude they were talking about. Compare drivers. So if we were to compare him to our current driver, we don't know his ability on the track. Growth potential? Don't know. The idea is we want someone younger. Not to scout him out to see what his potential is. So just for funsies, we'll take a look at someone on a terrible team and probably draft them onto ours. We'll see how it goes. Got McLaren. He's 32. I guess we can go for someone younger. Esteban Ocon, who actually won a race. Let's see. So we can go for Alexander Albon. Out of Thailand, huh? We'll just scout him and see what's up. We have 3 scouts available, so we'll just see if we can think about who's out there to replace our elderly gentleman, a 37-year-old with 1 year left on his contract. Position. Yeah, no wins. Not a lot of points either. But he has potential, apparently. Potentially. Okay, so we also have our reserve. What's his deal? He needs practicing. We have some free practicing we can throw at him. We'll get to that later.
It's not just the fastest car that makes a team the best in F1. It's the people doing the hard work behind the scenes. Manage your staff from here.
So, for example, if we were to min-max, Brother Man here is the weakest link. So we could probably scout out a technical chief. But he has 3 years left on his contract, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's see. We have our engineering team and our scouting team and our pit crew. So arguably, we're just going to keep who we have here because he has 3 more years in his contract. This guy is going to be out. Yeah, he's going to have to renegotiate these guys' contracts. Expiring in 10 months. Okay. So how about we look for a new head of aerodynamics just in case. Because he might be out by the end of the year. Let's see. Like, these guys might be okay. So we can do detailed scouting on him. The idea is I'm thinking about who I might want to replace him with. And we also have a very good couple of race engineers here. I don't know if we're going to replace them, but if they get replaced, we can have a backup ready to go. So let's scout a race engineer. Just in case one of them leaves. Yeah, we have the 2 best race engineers in the game. Okay. So we could try to replace them with somebody else. Ferrari, probably not gonna be able to pilfer one of those guys. Might be able to pilfer somebody from might be able to pilfer someone from Aston Martin though. So we'll see what our options are there. This scouting will be done by the time the next race starts, so we'll worry about that later. So the idea is that if I know these people's contracts are going to be up, I might as well have a backup plan. This guy's probably going to stay with us for a while, for 3 more years. Let's just see what we can do. Pit crew. They need more practice in car release, so we can focus on min-maxing by developing their worst skill, which in this case is the car release. So we'll improve their abilities there. That should balance us out, make us a bit tighter as a crew. So R2. So we'll advance here. So yeah, it's about, again, this is not a racing game. It's a spreadsheet management game.
It's no longer your first day. We'll have you on top of things in no time. You'll continue moving through days this way until it's time for the race, which you can see in the upcoming events list. Let's take a look at what needs doing today.
So let's press R2 to look at the email that requires a response. Let's see. New aerodynamic testing. We're not going to worry about that.
Start a project now. You'll need to commit money and engineering time. You'll be able to improve our car builds beyond their current performance.
After our first race, we'll focus on that. We're not going to do that yet. R2.
Looks like you've received a budget approval request.
There we go.
Most of the team's budget is decided by the board at the start of the season, plus whatever we get from last season's prize money, and any extra sponsorship revenue we earn. Running an F1 team is expensive and means a lot of decision making. We've got plenty of money as it's the start of the season, but as the months go by, our budget will decrease.
All right, so how do we want to do this? Let's see. This is a party request. So right off the bat, I'm making my first no decision. No, there will be no party. Get bent. Merry Christmas. It's your boss, Mr. Scrooge. All right, so since we won't do that, we'll deny the party request. We'll party when we win.
Seems like a good plan to me. Sometimes it's wise to save your budget for more serious matters.
The idea is that we can try and improve driver morale and improve staff morale, but we're a good team. We don't have to worry about any of that crap. And my goal is to get us to 3rd place. We don't have to win right away. So I don't need to worry about improving morale. Don't be absurd.
Now that's dealt with, we can focus on our first Grand Prix of the season. The race weekend is still a few days away, so move forward when you're ready.
Well, we'll check out our mail, the rest of our mail first. Let's see, let me introduce you to our development team. Yep, already saw them. So we'll check out our sponsor obligations. So that's how we make money. So we've already committed to this. So we're committed to doing this, which costs us some money, but we'll be making extra money after every race. Main fund on the far right side of the screen. We'll worry about those details later. Sponsorship obligations give us, like, what? 2% are responsible for 2% of our budget? Well, 5%. Yeah, it's about 6 or 7% of our budget is. Yeah, so they're giving me 6% of our budget, basically. Oh, well. Income per race. Preseason lump sum. That's amazing. And we have our main fund. Okay, so the obligations give us more money. Okay, and we have more sponsorships than any other teams. That's why we're first out of 10. That's amazing. I have to charge this phone. Give me a second.
Here you can delve deeper into team finances and see our balance, as well as understanding information on income and rewards, and the enforced spending caps we have to abide by.
That'll be more important later, like if we want to start developing new parts. We're not really worried about that now, so we'll get to it later. Yeah, we'll get to that later. Continue. And we'll check in on a few more things when we're done. Let me get my
We're getting very close to race day now. Just continue to do anything that's needed. In the future, you'll also want to decide on these actions yourself to ensure our team are continuously developing and improving.
Okay. Got my DVR set up so I can record the football while I'm doing this race. Like I said, there'll be 2 videos. This will be the setup for the first race. We'll do a separate video just for the race. So we'll see how it goes. We got car parts. So we have a report right here. Let's see what's up.
There are 3 different types of projects the engineering team can work on. We can design a new car part for use this season, manufacture copies of existing designs, or undertake research and develop our expertise for next season.
Create a brand new... We don't want to do this yet. We can't research because we're locked out till later in the year. Bottom right-hand corner of the screen says we're in March 2022. We're locked out till next month. Fine. I want to say we're supposed to be doing...
the design project?
Yeah, suspension, yeah.
These are car parts we can design and manufacture in-house. Each car part impacts different areas of a car's performance, but certain car parts will have a greater impact than others. You can also view our car performance by rank on grid. This is a useful comparison tool and lets you see how our performance compares to that of all the other cars on the grid.
If you want to min-max, which is what we're going to try to do eventually.
Take a look over the different car parts. The highlights indicate which performance areas they impact the most. Pick one that impacts the ratings you want to improve.
I want to say we were working on a suspension at the end of my research video that I was making last time. But it was underfloor, because this increases a whole bunch of stats that I want to improve later. You can see the blue thumbs up means that's going to be important during the Grand Prix. It's recommended for the circuit. So what's going to increase the most? Well, the rear wing will increase... Yeah, so this will increase 4 of the recommended stats for this circuit. Top speed, acceleration for car performance, and that's what the DRS is, yeah. Okay, so this will give us a better top speed, better acceleration, better DRS top speed, which is the drag reduction, and better drag acceleration. So we can improve, a better rear wing will improve 4 of the 6 recommended stats for this circuit. What else do we have? This will improve 2, medium speed. This will improve 2, top speed and acceleration. This will improve 2. This will improve 2. This will improve 2. So the most impactful upgrade will be the rear wing, which improves our drag reduction system, speed and acceleration, and our car's speed and acceleration. So we're going to improve 4 out of the 6 categories we want for the circuit based on those blue thumbs.
The team's expertise in making new car parts improves with experience, so each new design is likely to be better than an older one. Just make sure to check the new design against the one currently installed.
Okay.
Testing is also an important step in designing a new car part. Our testing time is limited throughout the season. If you assign some testing time to this design now, you can see what effect it will have on the car part.
Okay, so let's, what design focus do we want? I don't know if that'll make a difference. Oh, we can see over the right side of the screen here. This will improve our medium speed. Oh, so the more time you spend testing, the more it improves in all those categories, huh? Okay, that's cool. So we'll get to that in a second. Wind tunnel hours. Okay, just a second. Hours remaining. Okay, so let's improve medium speed with the okay, we're improving medium speed cornering here. Now we can improve the medium speed on the dirty air cornering. Improve the top speed on the DRS by a tiny amount. Okay, so that'll give us 3 of the improvements we want for the circuit. Wind tunnel hours. Medium speed. So that gives us 3. So that gives us 3. Okay. So we're going to make a bunch of improvements based on this testing. Not a lot of them, but some. It'll increase our car part expertise by a tiny amount. Assuming that even matters.
You can direct the engineering team to focus on specific areas of performance. F1 car parts are complex, and over the season we'll understand more about our car's performance, which will help you to guide the team's design focus. You can try altering the focus now if you like, or else stick with a balanced approach.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so what do we want to improve? You can decrease our low speed. These are a bunch of improvements, but we lose low speed. So I want that. So we definitely want to focus on that, because that improves most of our stats over here. Yeah, that drag reduction will help us. Okay, what else? Airflow. Decreases top speed. Delta. Yeah, we don't want to decrease that stuff. No. So we don't want to increase that anymore. So all we want to increase is the drag reduction. This increases everything except for low speed, dirty air cornering. Okay. That might be worth it considering everything else I'm getting. So arguably drag reduction is an improvement across the board. So let's do that. Square.
As a final step before the team gets started on this design project, you need to decide how many engineers you want working on it. You should also decide what approach they should take.
Okay, well I have 9 available engineers.
Bear in mind, these decisions will have an impact on the duration and cost of the project.
Fine.
When you're happy with everything,
So I don't want to use up all my available engineers. Okay, so we'll stick with 2. We don't want to rush it. It makes it more expensive if we rush it. Intense. That's like hardcore. See? All these knobs and switches. For now, we'll keep it at a normal level. This will make our car better in most ways. So that'll help. That's the rank on grid. Yeah, I'm going to take it. Square. It's good for me. Packers-Dolphins actually might be a good game. You don't want the Dolphins playing in Green Bay this time of year. Yeah, they did not look good in that Kansas City playoff game last year.
Nice work. That's the project started.
Started.
If you check your calendar, you'll see the team have given you a delivery date for the design. Once it's complete, you'll be able to manufacture that part anytime.
Okay, so we're just trying to improve our drag reduction. So later in the season, our car will have better performance and all those attributes that I showed you earlier with the little blue thumbs up.
Continually designing new car parts is imperative to improving our team's performance and staying competitive on the track. Check out the car analysis area regularly to see how our cars compare to others on the grid.
Cool. Well, we're currently ranked 3rd. After these improvements, we'll be ranked 3rd. So that sounds fine to me. Let's see. Back out. So we're currently working on the rear wing on the right side of the screen. 48 days will be done. So there'll be a couple more races we have to do before we can actually use this part. Got plenty of engineers available, so that's what matters. Important email. Okay, so we looked at that one. We have our testing results. We already looked at our testing results. Let's see. We have we have our scouting done. So let's see here. So what does he want? So what does he have to tell us? Compare drivers. So he has just as much potential. He's not as aggressive. Smoothness. So he'd be a down. I mean, he'd be a replacement, but his growth potential is still limited. So I would say that's not worth it. Full profile. Average. I would say he's average. If we can scout somebody else. Let's see. We have somebody else who was scouted. Yeah, about the Chinese dude. So we can scout him too. All right. So we don't until we scout him. We don't know his abilities. Okay, there's one other dude we need to check out. Inbox over here. Let's see. So we confirmed him. Info. Oh, this guy's our Oh, he's an engineer. Okay, sorry, he was an engineer. Okay. Because in case we lose one of our race engineers, we might not be able to get a replacement. So what's this guy got? Not really good at feedback, huh? I don't know what does feedback mean in this context. Buyout fee. Morale is okay. So we can consider him later, I suppose. So I guess we can look at a couple of options and then see. Yeah, we can look at a couple of options and see if see if they're interested. We're not gonna lose the Red Bull guy. I don't think we're not gonna be able to snag the Red Bull guy. I doubt it. So we scouted a couple of Aston Martin doofuses. 32-year-old engineer, huh? Yeah, maybe one of these guys might be a reasonable alternative. So we'll see what we can find by checking out the little corporate intelligence, I suppose. Okay, so let's see what else we got going on. 'Cause we're doing some practice sessions eventually.
The race weekend is almost here. How are you
It's like
feeling
Green
about
Bay
it?
fumbled the ball already.
I can't wait to see how our drivers and our new car handle the track this season. There's always some final work to do before we can set off. Check your inbox for the race prep report on this.
Okay.
This is your race preparation area, where you'll get the team ready for the upcoming race weekend. Okay, let's take a look. Our drivers are primed for the weekend, and our car builds are race ready. No, one thing you'll always need to do before each race weekend is setting our performance targets.
So we'll get to that in a second. Let's check out our email with the R2 button. That's what this is.
That's your first race prep report. You can use it to check weather, there's no rain expected this weekend, and other details about the weekend circuit. Okay, you have all the information you should need. Let's head to race preparation to see if there's any remaining tasks for us to complete.
Press X.
This is your race preparation area. Okay, let's take a look. One thing you'll always need to do before each race week.
Yeah, the performance targets. Incentives and guarantees. We're not going to do guarantees, and we'll explain why in a second.
Here we've got the performance targets.
Is that another
for this
turnover?
coming weekend. If we meet these, we'll gain extra revenue.
It's race weekend. Sponsors will always offer incentives. Some of them I know we're not going to hit. Like, we're not going to finish second place in this race. Trust me. I don't know what I'm doing. You know, it was a punt. And he dropped the ball. Maybe it was the cold Green Bay weather
Looks
and the
like
frozen
we've got
tundra.
Incentives for both the qualifying session and the race. If we can reach those targets, we'll get an additional payout. And it won't cost the team anything if we don't meet them.
Well, that's good.
You can also decide to add targets here and offer our sponsors guarantees. These are a risk as we face a potential financial loss if we don't meet them. Okay, if you want to offer a guarantee for this weekend and raise the team's potential rewards, now is your chance.
Chance. Let's see. Reach Q3, which basically means reach round 3 of qualifying with both drivers, which we did last time, which I did before recording this video. So I'm pretty sure we'll do it. Reach a minimum qualifying position of 2nd. Not going to happen. Reach at least round 2 with at least one driver. Sure, easily done.
That feels like something we can achieve without too much difficulty. The reward if we meet the guarantee is good, and the potential loss doesn't seem too bad either.
I mean, I know when I did this last time, I think both my drivers got 8th place. So we'll be fine, I think.
Okay, we're done here. Let's head back.
Circle. Let's see what else. They want me to finish in 2nd place. Wait. So finish 1-2? Good luck with that. Hold the fastest lap for the race session. Not going to happen. Let's see. Finish position streak. Finish 4 races in a row with both drivers finishing at least 2nd place. Not going to happen. Yeah, it's just not going to happen. Qualify 2nd or higher for 4 races in a row with at least one driver. Not going to happen. So I think we'll be fine here.
You've done everything needed, and the team can't wait to get started. It's time for the first race of the season. You can take some more time to look around if you like. When you're ready, let's get this show on the road.
I thought there was supposed to be a... Yeah, I thought there was supposed to be like a practice track, which there should be, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Because what I want to do is I want to take a look at the free practice and see if I can get my my reserve driver get some hours. Just get on the track. Yeah, I would have thrown it to the guy running the hash pad or whatever. You threw it to the guy on the corner route and he got it. Touchdown, Green Bay.
The Kingdom of Bahrain might have a small land footprint, but it's showing its big spirit right now in the grandstands. Either way...
I think we have Bahrain and Saudi
Great
Arabia.
to see you again. Welcome to your first race weekend with the team. It's Friday, so we're kicking off with free practice 1 as usual.
Cool. So I want to see if my reserve driver can get some playing time here. Let's see, practice. Qualifying, that's a knockout format. That's fine. During practice, teams test new car parts. Yeah, track acclimation is the most important thing. We're getting our drivers accustomed to the track so that they'll perform better in the race. Pit stop strategy. So we have practice for acclimation and fine cars tune-ups, just to see how the current setup works on this track. 57 laps. Ugh. So we can do a practice. Sponsors. Reports. Detailed insights. Straight sections. Slow sections. Fast sections. Odd. I figured the entire straightaway would be a fast section instead of just a straight section. Well, I guess potentially any straight section could be a fast section. Amusing. Time considerations. Safety car deployments. That's oddly specific. Analyze how each compound performed in practice. Okay. Competitive performance. Yeah, how long does the tire last, basically? Stuff like that. Yeah, R2. Well, we have a different Mercedes racer now. Historic results. Yeah, Mercedes has won this multiple times. We're not going to win this race based on my strategy. I'm still practicing. Powertrain usage. So that's very granular. We're never going to have to worry about any of that crap, I don't think. At least not right away until we learn how to play the game.
Over here is our race preparation area. This is where you can make any changes you need ahead of the upcoming practice session.
Okay.
Rest assured the team have already prepared the cars for practice. When you're ready, we can continue to the practice session.
So how do we get the practice driver in here? Let's see. Car 2 is ready. So I can't get my backup driver in here? Yeah, I can. Yeah, main drivers gain acclimatization, but reserve drivers gain boosted experience. Reserve drivers only take part in the first practice session. Okay. So we'll have our reserve driver get some practice time in, and then we'll bring in the other guy in for the second practice run. That's fine. Okay. So he gains experience because he won't be participating in the actual race. And we'll let our number 1 driver get acclimated.
During race weekends, you can decide whether you want to manage the practice sessions yourself or whether to hand over control to your team. As it's your first race weekend, you should let the team handle the practice sessions.
Fine. So we'll simulate to qualify. And we'll simulate all remaining practice sessions, sure. They're forcing me to. Let's not kid ourselves. Because I wanted to get my my backup driver in. But for this one, I don't think I really have a choice. Just fine, I suppose.
With FP3 all finished, it's time to move on to qualifying.
No reason to
Very little
micromanage.
time to relax because each and every...
No reason to micromanage just yet.
Practice results are based on the fastest lap time each driver achieved. They show the positions of each of the 20 drivers.
We only did 16 laps. That's amazing. So I guess we already know. How we're gonna race based on the minimum 16 laps we just ran.
To help maximize our drivers' performance, the team have them work on 3 goals during practice: track acclimatization, car parts knowledge, and setup confidence.
Okay, so I did 1 practice session with the reserve driver, so I guess that's why Russell isn't as familiar with the track as Hamilton is.
If you manage the session yourself, you might get an even better performance from the drivers for the rest of the weekend.
Sure, but they didn't give me that option. Yeah, he only did 2 of the 3 track runs Hamilton did all three, so that's probably why his track acclimatization is better. Learning how to best improve lap times based on circuits' unique conditions. The longer they drive without stopping during practice, the faster track acclimatization increases. Okay. 3/5 of the max performance bonus. So it's not going to matter too much for either of these characters, I don't think. Before I started recording this, I let the simulation run 3 practice runs with both of the drivers. They both got the same performance bonus, and they both finished in the top 5. Or they both finished in the top 6. So we did fine, all things considered.
Right.
They finished
Time
5-6.
for qualifying. Our results here will determine where we start on the grid for Sunday's race.
Now it matters.
Qualifying takes place over 3 knockout rounds.
So let's continue.
You can make any final preparations here before we head into qualifying.
What do we need? We're somewhat confident. I saw braking stability go down there. So, let's see. 65. So where's our confidence? We are confident with that. Rear wing angle. Tire chamber. Optimal setup range. So what do we need? Better cornering? Toe out. So what can we afford to lose? Traction, arguably. What do we want? I think we want more braking stability. Yeah, we want more braking stability. So we can afford to lose traction and oversteer. Yes, we need braking stability and cornering. Okay, how about anti-roll? Yeah, we need more traction, so that'll help. Tire chamber. So the good news is we have more traction. Let's try that again. Run plan, we want 2 flying laps. We'll get to that in a second. Revert to the highest confidence setup. Yes. Okay. So let's see what we want. We want more... What do we need? We need more traction. But traction's fine. So what is that? I don't know what that means on the right side. Set up feedback. For a driver's confidence to be revealed, they need to test and give feedback. Sending the driver on the track will start generating. Okay. The feedback will be displayed in the setup screen. Okay, once this gives them gathered. Okay, that's fine. Performance bonus is derived from the track acclimatization. Okay. Performance bonus display across 5 drivers. This is very granular. Cornering. What is that practice in the middle? Every waste weekend these bounce bars a sweet spot. The closer the bias is to the sweet spot, the higher is okay. Increasing the balance towards cornering and oversteer, which we don't really need. Decrease the bias towards straights. So what do we really need here? Optimal setup range, okay. So we need to get these bars closer to the... We need to get those blue bars. We need to get these meters closer to the blue bars. So what do we need? We need less traction. That's better. So we need to drop the oversteer. Yeah, we need more oversteer. Or less oversteer. So now we're in the blue bars in all the categories, right? Yeah, we're in the blue bars for every category. So that's good. Alright, so that's good. That's good. So this helps with the braking stability, but not a lot. So we have to figure out what improves which category the most. We need cornering there no matter what. That's good. Okay. It's untested, but we should work. Let's try a couple of runs. Circles. Let's try a couple of flying laps. One flying lap to get the best time possible, and one in lap. Okay. This increases the fuel load. Not sure why that's a problem. 2 flying laps will include... Additional fuel will slow the car down. Flying laps. Extra cooldown to give the driver time to recharge the ERS and get an optimal start to the flying. Okay, that's cool. We'll stick to 2. It worked last time. We should be fine. Okay, so let's try car 1. We're pretty confident, but we're going to test. Let's see. He's doing 3 laps. Let's check his confidence. Okay. We need to improve his cornering and his straights. Like that. That's better. And now let's get traction. Traction's good. So that's a better setup. Everything's in the blue. Toe out. Yeah, we're in the sweet spot. So that's a lot better. Alright, so we'll set up a run plan with a couple more flying laps. Okay. Back up. Yeah, I think we're ready to get started.
Same as practice, the team can handle qualifying for you if you like. Let's get you hands-on for this round, though, just to make sure you're feeling confident before race day kicks off.
Sure. So we'll manage this one ourselves. So we'll end the video with these test runs. Then we'll do an actual race.
Possible lap times, so we can advance to the next round of qualifying. The slowest 5 cars will be knocked out.
Okay.
Keep a careful eye on time remaining. The driver stand-ins track the current status of the round. Right then, let's get a car out on the track for its first run and...
Tires with a Y. Ew. Who spells tires with a Y?
Green light.
Green light. Let's go. And we can speed through most of this in case you're wondering. So you can press the R3 button to switch to the track mode right here. Press R2 for a strategy view. This doesn't matter till we do the fight, till we do the actual race. Like I said, we'll finish up this video with the test runs,
you can see live data,
and then we can do this
current
stuff during
session.
the race.
Here we can see the latest lap and sector times. Here you can also view how the current session could affect the drivers' and constructors' championship stand-ins. There's plenty more to dive into with the data view.
We'll do that during an actual race. And let's see. I press the trackpad to see the left side of the screen. Then you can see the leader, tire, how long the tires last, sectors. I don't know what sectors means. Last lap, how many laps you've done, status, interval. In a real race, that matters. Here, it doesn't matter as much, so we'll worry about that later. Press the right stick to switch between different cameras here. These are all simulated, of course. immersive feeling. You can play the game that way. Graphics are not amazing for this mode, unfortunately. Not amazing. Press square, then we can skip ahead and fast forward.
Each car is fitted with a number of onboard cameras, so you can see the action as it happens.
Don't care.
You can also use the map view if you like. Remember, you're managing 2 drivers throughout the session.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that yet. So we'll send out the other one. And we'll let them do their thing. Press the square button and then we'll fast forward. So we'll let them do their thing. And
Someone's run wide.
wow.
Was that a lock-up on the track?
That's a qualifying run too. That sucked.
Well, the first fine lap could have gone better, but never mind.
Yep.
Huh.
Keep an eye on the standings throughout the session to make sure we stay out of the knockout zone.
Hamilton? He finished in 3rd. That seems fine.
Right then. That qualifying run is done, so the driver will return to the pits now. I
Okay.
know everything happens so fast over a race weekend. But if you need to catch your breath, you can pause for as long as you like.
We just sped things up, so I'm not complaining. So we'll speed that up. Sectors, last lap. So yeah,
Our driver is back in the pits.
we're good?
You need to reconfigure the car before we can send them back out. Let's go and take a look.
Excuse me. Apply valve configuration to car 1. L1. And we go to reconfigure.
The team will make sure the run plan is updated to include refueling. So all you have to do is fit some fresh tyres.
Again, they spell tire with a Y. That's bad.
Here you can see all the tyre compounds available this weekend. When making any changes, just be sure you're considering both the condition and the compound of the selected tyre.
So we have grip. When you lose grip, the car will be slower. Tire condition reaches 0, it will fail completely. 2 or more tires fail, you gotta retire. Retire spelled with an I. Dry compounds. Let's see. Soft is fast, but they run out more quickly. Hard tires are the slowest, but they're the most durable. They last the longest. I remember when I played Al Unser Jr. Turbo Racing on the NES, that was a legitimate statistic. That affected how the game actually... That affected how the tires actually performed over the... How many times you had to make pit stops during the race. Wet compounds, we won't have to worry about that just yet.
We want maximum performance during qualifying. So let's use a fresh, soft compound tyre. Soft tyres are the fastest in dry conditions.
Fastest.
Confirm the configuration with the team when you're happy.
I'm happy. Return to Pirelli, huh? Teams will return a mandated number of tires, dry tires to Pirelli. For any driver advances, let's return additional set of soft tires. That's amazing. They really break it down, don't they? Well, like them soft. Press square to confirm.
Okay, so good track position now. Covering.
Brilliant. The car's ready to head back out at your say-so. It's probably best to do at least one more run before the end of the round. Unless you're feeling very confident about our time so far.
But we're in 4th place, so we'll just keep going.
The track will have more grip later in the round, but there will also be more traffic. It's up to you to decide when you want to send the car out. Whatever gets us through to Q2.
Okay, so we'll send them out. And we'll reconfigure with some soft, fresh tires. Like a baby's bottom. Square. I didn't see I wasn't checking out the time conflict there. What was that? That's fine. One more flying lap. That's fine. We're good. L1. Everything looks good. R1. Send them out. It's a bit more crowded now. You know how it is. Car's not blowing up, so I guess we're okay. Press square. Yeah, we got fast forward by 16.
Someone's run wide.
Ugh. Way to go, dog. And we're done.
We're through to Q2. Great work. In Q2, the fastest 15 cars from Q1 battle it out for only 10 places in Q3. Now let's push even harder for a place in Q3.
Cool. So we finished 6th and 7th. Yeah, we finished 6th and 7th, which is fine for us. The goal is to finish in the top 10. We should finish in the top 8. Sponsors. And where are the sponsors here? So we're gonna reach. We already reached Q2, right? But we made it to Q3, so that's what matters. Well, we're gonna reach Q3. Let's just make sure we get to Q2. We're guaranteeing we're gonna make it to Q2 because that's what happened last time. Didn't get acclimated to the track, but that's okay. Our setup confidence seems to be all right. So let's see how we do. Q2.
If you want to make adjustments to anything, like changing the tires on a car, you can do so in between each qualifying round.
Cool. So 6th and 7th. Let's check out our confidence. Let's see. Yeah, we're in the sweet spot. So we're optimal there in the traction. Let's see what else we can do. Yeah, we're in the sweet spot, basically, so we should be fine. Yeah, let's put that lower in the blue. So we can't change anything else, huh? And we can't change any other settings, but we're okay. We're in the blue for everything else. Okay, let's see. Run plan, press circle, go to the run plan. For qualifying, the default run is 1 outlay. Okay, we're gonna do two. We're gonna do 2 flying laps, just like last time. We should be fine. He said portentously. Let's check Q2. We want to make sure the confidence is high. Over here, there we go. So we gotta get, we can afford to lose traction, but we can't make any other adjustments. That's interesting. Yeah, we can't adjust anything else. That's weird. So we can only adjust the, that's interesting. We can only adjust the wing. That's amusing. So we're in the blue for everything. You're in the blue for everything, so that might be okay. Yeah, let's get some more feedback on the oversteer, I guess. As long as we're in the blue for everything else, we should be okay. So we'll get some extra feedback on the oversteer. So we'll see if that blue bar can be adjusted a little bit more. Start the next qualifying round.
The rest of the qualifying rounds. If you want, you can let the team take control.
We'll simulate this session. We'll be fine. See how we do. High roller. I got another bronze trophy. And I finished first, huh? No, I didn't. But I qualified. 3 laps. Okay. So we're good, right? Yep, we finished 7th and 8th again, but we made it. We made it to Q3, so we're good. Okay. So let's see. Start qualifying. So we made it to Q3. So we'll check. So we should get we should be getting our sponsor bonus because of how we performed. In fact, is that listed here? Yes, we made it to Q2, so we get the extra cash. Yep, we reached at least round 2 of qualifying with at least 1 driver, so we did fine. All right. Let's see. Overview. Continue. So then we'll check our confidence. So my confidence went up a little bit, just not a lot. We need to work on our straights and our cornering, then. We can't really do that. Yeah, we can't. So we can't improve our cornering. So we'll go to the highest confidence setup. So we can't do the straights. We can't really improve. Yeah, we can't really improve this, can we? So we can only make a couple of adjustments to this. So we're still cornering well. Yeah, we're still cornering well. So that's fine. That's as good as we get. I say it's as good as we get. And let's try the second dude. We're going to improve his confidence a bit. So the highest confidence setup. That will adjust as needed. So we're still in the blue here. We're still in the blue here. We should be fine. I'm not expecting much here. Not expecting much improvement. Okay, ready to go. Last qualifier. And we'll end the video here, and then we'll do a separate video just for the race. Because that'll take at least 30 minutes. Simulated at really full speed, unfortunately. So we'll simulate that. And we should be good. Next. Finish 8th and 6th. So I'm pretty sure we're not going to win this race. Oh well. We tried.
Welcome to race day. And before we...
Right.
So,
Time for the main event, the Bahrain Grand Prix. This is a great time for us to get some early points under our belt. So let's stay focused and push hard. Don't forget we can also earn some additional revenue from our sponsors if we achieve the performance targets we accepted before the weekend.
so let's pause here. We'll end the video before the main race. So we'll set up the main race, and then we'll do the aftermath of the main race in the second video. So we'll end video number 1 of the research stream for F1 Manager 22 right here. Back in a second.